Welcome to the Rising Society podcast. I'm Shane Kennedy.
I'm Nico Galliano, the rejected gentleman.
And it's been a while, Nico.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about?
You son of a bitch.
Well, you want to start? You want to start by talking about the economy?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's always a nice way to get the pulse back on where we're at.
Why not talk about inflation?
Okay.
Right? Because the thing is, the Obama administration and a lot of the economists that are all subsidized by the taxpayer, they're all saying that it's wrong for you to believe your lying eyes. That inflation's gone.
Is that an Eagle reference?
Yeah.
Nice. I like how you slipped that in there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell them that out.
Yeah.
They are saying that inflation's gone right now. And if you're looking at the market, there's several interesting things I do want to go over when we talk about inflation, like direct results of it. Because right now, people are probably seeing what's going on in crypto. Mm-hmm. That's had a nice surge. Their real estate market, a lot of people think that like the commercial real estate market is going to get hammered, stuff like that. So I want to get your views on like different things like that. I know.
Okay.
By no means are we giving investment advice or anything like that. But
don't take this as investment advice because it's not.
I can say stuff that I'm personally doing. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And we can share our personal thoughts, right?
Yeah. So let's get back to the main point of it, which is inflation right now. So where are you going with that?
So if you rewind about a year and a half ago, inflation had peaked at an annualized rate of 9%, which was pretty bad. Now, remember, at that time, the Obama administration and the Federal Reserve and everybody, they were all saying, oh, it's transitory, which basically in bullshit, what that means is it's not real. You know, what they're saying is there's really no inflation. Even though our own game statistics are saying that there really isn't. So unfortunately, your average person, people like us going to the grocery store, you'd go there and you would see that all of a sudden ground beef had gone up like 30% in price overnight. Mm-hmm. And they're saying, oh, it's just transitory 9% inflation. This is really not a very big deal. And like the price of eggs had doubled and, and all this other stuff. I'm being hyperbolic. I mean, the price of eggs didn't exactly double, but they might as well have. And so the thing is, you have all these expert class people that are sitting there just saying, don't believe your eyes, just believe what we're telling you. And so at that time, the rate of inflation, the rate of prices going up was about 9% roughly, and now it's slowed down to about 4%. And the target for the Federal Reserve, a lot of people don't know this, but the target for the Federal Reserve is 2%.
2.2, right?
No, it's just a straight average of about 2%.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's what the Fed is looking for. Really, there should be no inflation.
Correct.
Because basically basically for your average person, the rate of inflation is how much the government is devaluing your money.
Mm-hmm. How much they're printing off instantly,
right. Which, as Dr. Ron Paul used to always say, it's an invisible form of taxation, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the lay of the land of where we are now, and there, in fact, this week, I think on Friday is when the next batch of inflation stats are supposed to come out, which this Friday is going to be, I think, March the 8th? Yeah, it's going to be
March 8th.
Yeah, it'll be March the 8th. And inflation had actually come, it had been steadily declining, and then it popped back up in January. And this is something that people need to remember too. Whenever the government is talking about inflation, when I said earlier that these are game statistics, that these are manipulated statistics, what I mean by that is that those inflation numbers, they don't include the price of gasoline. They don't include the price of food at the grocery store. The things that they include are like the price of an iPhone, or they'll include like the price of buying a new lamp at Walmart.
Oh, I didn't know that. They don't include like standard of living stuff?
Right. And the reason that they don't...
Not standard of living. Necessity of living?
Right. And their argument, the reason that they say they don't include it is they say the price of those things is too unstable for them to really get an idea of what the steady rate of inflation is. But everybody knows the real reason that they don't count those things is so that they can make the statistics make it look like inflation is actually lower.
Yeah, because that's the shit they're jacking up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, the thing is, like, nobody gives a shit if the price of a lamp at Walmart's gone up, like, has doubled in price. Like, you're not going and buying a new lamp from Walmart every single week. At least you shouldn't.
Well,
you might be on meth if you're going to Walmart and buying a new lamp every week or something.
Dude, well, that's the thing. Like, I don't give a shit if I'm going to Walmart and I see, like, I'm buying bed sheets and bed sheets have gone up too much. I'll skip the bed sheets. You know what I can't skip? Gas and electricity and shit like that, or food.
Well, and that's the thing. You're not buying bed sheets very frequently.
No.
But you're buying eggs frequently. You're buying onions. You're buying potatoes. You're buying tomatoes. You're buying all that stuff very, very frequently. So when the price of those things increases, you really feel it.
Yes.
And you can't get around it.
It's a direct hit on your wallet. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I
didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's something a lot of people don't know. What they do is they call, I forget what the term is. I think they call food and energy. I forget what they call that, but they try to make it sound like it's not very important to really pay attention to that, because remember, most of the people that are collecting and analyzing the inflation data, these are people that don't really work for a living. Mm-hmm. These are people that work on Wall Street or they work in DC. They don't actually do anything productive. They don't really do anything that adds value to the lives of other people.
What are you talking about, man? They're telling us about the economy. They're telling us, they're letting us know, is it going to be, do we need to tighten our belts? Do we need can we be a little more, free with the wallet? These are important things, man.
There are technocratic overlords.
Yeah. One more time.
There are technocratic overlords, right?
Beautifully said, man. I mean, this is important shit. You can't just downplay that. These people, they have a place in society. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And thank God they're there, or who knows what kind of, fucking catastrophes we would find ourselves in.
Yeah. It's just like where would the, well, I'm not going to say that. That would be too inflammatory. But the thing is, they're not adding value. They're not adding value to the lives of other people. The way that, like, you look at someone who's like a cattle rancher, mm-hmm. Those people add value to the lives of other people because they're raising something and contributing something that people need, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, the oil industry, the petroleum industry, they catch a lot of crap. There's a lot of corruption in the oil industry. Don't get me wrong about that, but at least the end goal, like the thing they're producing, it's something that people need. Mm-hmm. People don't need gamed or manipulated economic statistics.
Speaking of this, a direct result of it, a little sidebar here. Have you seen, I believe it is Wendy's, don't quote me.
Yes, it is.
They are going to try, man, why am I blanking? It's like demand pricing. What's the name for it?
Yeah, it's called surge pricing, I think, right?
Thank you.
It's
yes.
And for the record, like it's the same thing that Uber does, right? Like whenever there's high demand for Uber, they increase the rates that people pay.
Correct. So they're going to do surge pricing at Wendy's. So during the busier times when the demand is high, mm-hmm. these Wendy's, Baconator is going to cost you.
It's going to be like double the price.
Double the fucking price. But if you go there at like 11 at night when there's no one going to Wendy's, a Baconator is going to cost you like just normal price.
Well, you want to know what fast food chain would never be able to get away with doing surge pricing? Burger King.
No, dude,
that place, they would never be able to get away with it.
Fucking, they don't have busy times.
No,
you just go up and just be regular price all the time.
Well, actually, whatever the opposite of surge pricing is, that's what Burger King needs to do.
Dude, Burger King might be the worst fast food restaurant. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good.
I crave it. Just randomly once a year, I'll go to Burger King. And I can honestly tell you, it's like I'm a crazy person because every year I'll go to Burger King that one time, and I just regret it. I never have I been like, fuck, that was good, man. It just instantly nasty.
Ugh.
As soon as I get done, I'm just sweating like plastic, and they taste like shit. Do you remember back in the 90s, they had the best nuggets?
Oh, Burger King?
The little crown ones?
Yes.
And then they changed them,
Yep.
and it was horrible. Yeah, so no, I think Burger King's definitely worse. But anyway, surge pricing. I hope that shit doesn't work, because I could see them all picking that shit up, dude.
Well, so the CEO of Wendy's, they just came out like 2 or 3 days ago and said, well, look, we were just kicking the idea of surge pricing out there. We just wanted to kick it around and everything, but we're not actually going to do it.
Oh.
Which what that means is they floated the idea, they got a bunch of backlash, so they're going to wait to do it. So,
Yeah.
so they're just going to do it like
100%.
6 months or a year after they were originally planning on
Oh,
rolling
we
it
were
out.
just, you know, it was just in a board meeting. Someone mentioned maybe, you know what I mean? And then everyone shit on them.
Now
They pulled it.
Now, one thing that's interesting, speaking of fast food places, which you know, the thing is, fast food places are a really good metric of how the average person is doing.
I was about to say
in
fast
the economy.
food. Yes, that's what I would base the economy off of.
So it's really interesting.
Cheap food.
About 2 weeks ago, the CEO of McDonald's came out and said that that McDonald's is seeing a slump in sales, and what they're attributing that to, it's the increased cost of meat and increased cost of buns and potatoes and all that kind of stuff. And it's translating into McDonald's. They've had to raise their prices to the point where their target demographic, which used to be like the working class and lower middle class,
People with no fucking taste buds.
well, like people that really didn't have any other choice but eat at McDonald's. That those people can't afford to eat at McDonald's anymore. So McDonald's is now having to shift their target demographic to be higher income earners. And
but they're not eating that shit.
yeah. Well, you know, I mean, this is something you got to think to yourself is like, which one would you rather eat, like McDonald's or Applebee's?
Neither, dude.
So, you know, but the thing is, at least with McDonald's, they don't have the cost of like a big restaurant and a big staff and everything like that. You know, Applebee's does. So
If I had a choice between McDonald's and Applebee's, I honestly think I'd just go on a fast.
Okay.
24-hour fast.
well, we're in
And
the middle of Lent right now.
Yeah, dude, no
You know?
way. Applebee's blows. McDonald's blows. Funny is McDonald's. I probably eat it twice a year. I eat Burger King once a year. So McDonald's, like, I'll get a random craving, but same thing, man. They suck. And while we're on it, dude, what's your favorite fast food place before we continue with the economy? If you had to pick right now.
Well, it's one that we don't have much of in Central Florida. It's Whataburger.
Oh, good pick.
Yeah.
That's a hidden gem, dude. That's nice.
Yeah.
There used to be one.
We used to have one.
I think a crackhead burnt it down
Yes,
in North
yeah.
Lakeland.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Somebody that was on drugs burned it down. Yeah, you know. And
Oh, I'm
this,
sorry. Yeah, someone that was. Yeah,
well,
on
and you know,
drugs.
and this is the sad thing is, you know, if you're going to commit arson, why would you burn down a Whataburger? You know, like what reason would you have? You know, you pick. You know, you're a well. I guess it's because arsonists are crazy. You know,
Dude, are they
things
out of
are not
business?
going well for them. You know,
Are they out of business?
Whataburger?
Yeah.
No, they're still very much in business all
I don't
over.
think so. They're like A&W, right? They're like dying, dude.
No. Whataburger's not dying. And this is another thing. In my humble opinion, Whataburger is one of the only things that's worthwhile that's come out of Texas.
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's is another one of the few worthwhile things that's come out of Texas. You know?
I mean, yeah, no. I like Texas.
Yeah.
Wait,
Now everybody, I think everybody remembers Texas Instruments, like the graphing calculators that you had to use in
Yeah,
school.
that was great.
No, those came out of Texas. Now, do you think those were really, really good and worthwhile and everything? Or
No, fuck no, dude. They're expensive, and dude, I hated that you had to buy those calculators. Your teachers like, you got to buy these $60, $70, $80
and you used it like
calculators.
for like 4 days?
You used it for 4 days on the graph thing that none of us could fucking even point to if we had it in front of us.
You want to know the people that use that stuff a lot, or the people that are running all the statistics for the inflation
Oh
numbers?
my god, yeah,
you
I'm
know?
glad they all got a place.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, they would. They would use that calculator. Dude, it was the worst. I'm like, I used a calculator and I used the same shit that I could have just used on my regular calculator. Little blue ones they gave at school that came in the yellow briefcase.
Those things are amazing.
Dude, those are great.
Now, those were Texas Instruments.
Oh, yeah, dude. So, yeah, and you just like, I didn't actually give a shit what your favorite fast food place was. That's how a podcast works. I wanted to say mine, and you never asked me back. So, thanks.
And I'm not going to ask you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to just say it anyways, because I know the people at home want to know.
What is it?
What does the rejected gentleman eat?
And what is it that you eat?
Dude, if I had to pick favorite fast food restaurant,
don't even say Subway, please.
Oh my God,
don't say it.
Are we counting? We're gonna go on to that real quick because I got a big debate about that. Mm-hmm. No, to answer your question, dude, I know it's garbage. Okay, but the one I eat the most, I probably eat this like 6 times a year. What is it? Like every other month, I cruise through. Right? So, dude, I eat more fast food than I thought. I probably eat fast food like once a month, I guess.
Chick-fil-A?
No. Fuck Chick-fil-A, dude. No.
Culver's?
No.
Well, then what is it?
Dude, I'm picking the Bell.
Okay, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, dude.
Well, the good thing about Taco Bell is it goes in and then it's out.
Dude, I love Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I know it's horrible. I know the ingredients are garbage. I would never put that in my body. But, dude, I do. I choose to. I make bad decisions on that.
Well, too, I think Taco Bell is one of the only fast food places. It's truly presenting you with an exotic food option. Because the thing is, like
fake Mexican.
Well, no. This is the thing is like they're using like real tortillas and stuff like that there. When you look at Pizza Hut, so Pizza Hut was really the first really, really big nationwide pizza franchise, pizza chain.
Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. The second one was Domino's, which Domino's rose to prominence because they invented and really perfected the delivery service, and also to like really pick up and delivery. But Pizza Hut's model, which was really developed in the late 50s. In Wichita, Kansas, in the Midwest, they were based around like dining in, and you could do some pickup too. But they had taken the pizza concept and they had made it palatable to the Midwest taste buds,
like the palate of the Midwest.
Yeah. So when you look at the original Pizza Hut crust, it actually looks a lot more like. It looks a lot more like making biscuits or making bread than making traditional pizza dough.
You're right, because pizza used to have like the buffet you would go in and sit down at and shit.
Yeah.
You're right. It was Domino's, because Domino's, some of them don't even have lobbies.
And
they just have that little drive-through section. You're right,
that's always been very, very. And Domino's originated, I think it was up in Detroit. And when they expanded, they would always target. They would always build restaurants near universities.
Because Domino's suck. Yeah, they're not good.
But college students don't really care that much about how something tastes. They just care about convenience and low price.
Yeah,
right?
Which brings back to my point. Do you consider sub places fast food? So like Quiznos, Subway, Jimmy John's, Which. So I've got to admit something Jersey
about
Mike's.
So I don't like Jersey Mike's. I think Jersey Mike's is way overrated.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that I think Jersey Mike's does well are Philly cheesesteak sandwiches.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, the best subs are Publix subs.
Publix makes a good chicken tender sub.
Yeah, just across the board. Now,
no, not across the board.
Yeah, across the board. Now the thing is,
that's wrong. You're stupid.
What? No, you're stupid. No. So the thing I respect though about Quiznos, do you remember their commercial that they had with that monkey squirrel thing?
What?
Quiznos had a commercial. It was like in the, I don't know, from like maybe 2005 to 2010. Like it was the commercial that they had like right before they all went out of business. Except for
out of business? There's no Quiznos anymore?
I've heard whispers that you can find a Quiznos here and a Quiznos there. You know what? In fact, I think Sebastian was saying that he he went to Quiznos or
Yeah,
something.
he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, though.
Yeah, because we were talking about the James Webb Telescope with him, and then he was then in the middle of it he started talking about Quiznos, and I was like,
It sounds
and then I started thinking back to that commercial, but I've got mad respect for that commercial. Quiznos, I never remember the food making all that big of an impression on me, but that commercial made a really big
the
impression
monkey
on
squirrel, dude. I don't
me.
remember that.
Now, I'm not talking about Puppy Monkey Baby, which was the commercial, the Super Bowl commercial for Mountain Dew, like back maybe 10 years ago. I'm talking about another thing, but the little Quiznos creature in the commercial, it looked a lot like the Puppy Monkey Baby from the Mountain Dew Super Bowl commercial, but the two
I don't know either of these.
But the two are different.
Oh wow. Okay.
If you saw them, you would recognize them. But back to the food, Quiznos. I like the idea of Quiznos because of that commercial, but the restaurants really. I mean, the food is not all that impressive to me. I think Subway is
No. Stop.
Subway is the like
Stop.
the bottom of being
Stop.
mediocre.
You didn't work back to anything. The question was, do you consider some places fast food? And you started going over which ones are good and not good.
Oh, sorry.
You never worked back to the original one.
So my question is, are there any Subways that have drive-thrus? Because to me, a true fast food place has a drive-thru.
So your standard of fast food has to have a drive-through?
Yes, or the production of that food must be fast enough to be able to take an order through a drive-through and collect the payment through the drive-through and then hand you the food in a bag or whatever.
So literally a sub place, man.
But my question is, but does the sub concept lend itself very well to a drive-through? And I would say probably not.
See, okay. So here's my thing. Before we start, do you consider pizza places fast food?
Some I do and some I don't.
What do you mean?
Actually, you know what? No, there are not any pizza places that I know of that I would consider fast food. The only pizza place I would consider fast food, which it's not really technically a pizza place, is Jack in the Box, because they sell pizza there.
It's not a pizza place. They sell tacos too.
Now, the world's biggest McDonald's, which is located over in Orlando, they sell pizza there.
Doesn't matter. That's a novelty thing.
Right.
Okay. I'm with you. Pizza places are pizza parlors. They're not fast food restaurants. I go a step further, and a lot of people disagree with me. I don't consider sub places fast food either. They're sub shops. So you have pizza parlors, sub shops, and then you have the genre of fast food. But so that should be pretty common sense. You got your McDonald's, your Wendy's, your Burger King, Arby's, through the box, Jack in the Box, all your oddballs, right? The question and where we got in the debate was, do you consider things like Chipotle and Moe's fast food? I don't.
No, and I would agree with you on that. I would not consider them fast food because they're not places that lend themselves to a drive-through. Now, I think there are some Chipotles that have a drive-through, but it's mainly for just pickup. You ordered it beforehand. And you drove there to pick it up.
So you and I agree a lot. So let's throw in because every state has their weird shit. But like in Florida, we have Steak and Shake fast food.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd consider. Now, I would argue that Steak and Shake, maybe in like the late 90s, early 2000s, it was. You could maybe make the case that it was both fast food and fast casual.
No, I'm going to agree with you. I think it's fast food, right?
Yeah, it's definitely morphed now into fast food.
It's more like a gimmick theme towards being like a diner, right? Towards like a 90s 50s diner. Mm-hmm. Like that's the gimmick of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like they used to do like with Sonic's, the pop shops. Mm-hmm. Who's the fat boy? I don't remember his name.
Oh,
Big Boy.
Yeah,
not Big Boy.
Yeah,
was it Big Boy?
Yeah, Big Boy.
Yeah. So like that kind of stuff, right? Which Steak and Shake's been around for a long time, actually. I think
it's like the 50s, I think.
Yeah, so...
Or maybe even earlier than that.
But I think the concept of that stuff back then, because even McDonald's was kind of like themed like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. until they worked out their kink. So yeah, I consider that fast food. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. You and I actually agree on that. Nice.
Well, so I would probably consider like Jersey Mike's and Subway, Chipotle and Moe's, those kind of restaurants. I think those are called fast casual.
Yeah.
And a lot of like Panda Express kind of like straddles the line, I think.
Like Chinese restaurants, you think so?
Well, I think Panda Express is a step above all the other Chinese restaurants. I think the quality of the food at Panda Express is better than...
Do you really? I think they're all kind of shitty. Like, I get Chinese food when I crave it, but I know it's garbage. Like, there's no quality there.
So let me tell you this. I have not eaten Chinese food since before COVID. But...
holy shit, dude. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 3 years ago. I don't know how long ago.
Yeah, I couldn't do it after the COVID thing.
Why?
Happened. Yeah. But the thing is, just objectively speaking, when I was still eating Chinese food, I thought that Panda Express was definitely a step up from all the other places. You know?
Yeah.
Like you know, the little independent Chinese food places, I think they all source their food from the same place. And I think they just get it all in frozen and stuff. And I'm not saying that Panda Express doesn't do that at all, but I think there's a lot of stuff that Panda Express makes a little bit from fresher ingredients.
Oh, not a fucking chance.
Oh, dude. You know what? The next time you go into Panda Express, and again, it was like early 2020 the last time I stepped foot into a Panda Express, and I don't know if I'll ever step foot in one again. But you walk in there, and they have all these big refrigerators with vegetables and stuff in them, and you can see them from the counter. You don't see that in the other Chinese food restaurants.
Yeah, you do, dude. They got the big ass woks. The guys over there like 10 pounds of food, just fucking mixing it up. Yeah, I see that shit. You guys like chives and stuff in there. I see it.
No, the other Chinese food restaurants, they're hiding the kitchen from you.
I can see the kitchen. The kitchen's literally there.
Yeah, if
some lady yells back at a guy mixing the shit, and she's like, "Oh shit, what do you?" And then she goes, "What do you want to drink?" And they always give you like the canned soda that they just broke out of a box. Mm-hmm. Yeah, always.
No. Listen, the only way in those kind of Chinese food restaurants that you're going to see the kitchen is if you step over the cashier and you go walk into the kitchen and look around yourself.
I can look right over her. She's 5 feet tall.
No, you can't.
Yes, I could literally right over her.
There's like a little tiny doorway that leads into the kitchen. You can't see through that.
It's an open kitchen concept. I can see it.
No, you're getting confused. You're thinking what you're doing is you're thinking of
Chinese food before.
No, you're thinking of Panda Express.
You want me to let you
and you're trying to impose your memories of Panda Express onto all of them.
Panda Express one time in my whole fucking life.
Well, that's your problem.
No, because there's better Chinese food out there.
Well, you know what? I don't know when I'll be able to return to Chinese food again. I don't know if I'll ever eat Chinese food again in my life.
That's such a weird stance, man.
Well, it's not a stance. I mean, it's just I was kind of traumatized with all the shutdowns and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm still kind of mad about it.
All right. No, I hear you, dude. Fucking Chinese food, X'd, 86.
But, I mean, just objectively, Chinese food is good. Like, I don't think it's bad. It's just I'm having kind of a hard time. I guess it would be kind of like during like World War I, I'd probably have trouble eating sauerkraut or something like that. You know?
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
You take it out on the cuisine, huh?
Well, what's the difference? Right?
I mean, dude, like, fuck. That's a wild.
During World War I would still eat, like, for as far as like fermented cabbage and stuff goes, I would still eat kimchi. But I would probably just have a hard time eating sauerkraut at that time.
Would you eat it during the fucking Korean War? Probably
not. I'd probably be eating sauerkraut at that time.
Oh, wow, dude. Yeah. Hey, you're consistently fucking weird, so that's good. Hey. All right. No, I like that. So anyways, we went off on a tangent there, but I just wanted to get your opinions on it. And so I think that's a much better metric. I do agree with you, is how people are spending on food and necessities. That's a better standard of inflation, I think, is what they're actually spending on things. And a lot of people are cutting back, dude. like you said, you used to take a family of 4, right? 2 kids, mom, dad, drive through McDonald's because they didn't want to cook late. They both work. They picked them up from school, aftercare, whatever. Going home, the clown's there, grab the food, poison our kids. We're good to go. Now they can't even afford to do that anymore. You know what I mean? Now it's too expensive. So God forbid they got to go home and fucking meal prep. That just sounds horrible.
Well, and that's the sad thing is McDonald's is the new Applebee's, and Applebee's is the new like steakhouse.
I get your reference, but Applebee's will never be in anyone's world a steakhouse, dude.
No, dude. No, listen. For your average person, living today, they look at they're living in conditions where they're being forced to look at Applebee's the way that people would look at like Burns Steakhouse.
No, dude, no one's looking at Applebee's. No money, fucking homeless mansion. No one's looking that way, dude. There is a place that doesn't show you the kitchen. You know why? Because it's just like 19 microwaves where they just pop shit in and press 5 minutes and then bring it out to you. Dude, Applebee's is garbage. Is that the place that has 2-for-1 margs, though?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that is
and then they have the half-price apps after 10.
Well, they have to.
Right?
No one's buying that shit. Plus, that's all the stuff they heated up that got returned. So they're just slinging it out. They just heat it back up.
So do you think they just nuke a bunch of nachos like at 10 a.m. or something, and then they just
Abso-fucking-lutely they do. Dude, talk about surge pricing. They're the reverse. They're like, we made all this shit earlier in the day. It's half off it. What does he just say? 10?
Well,
wait, what time does it start? 10?
10 p.m. Yeah.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is going to Applebee's on a Tuesday at 10 p.m.? That's how you know that food's shitty.
Hey.
To get half off apps on a Tuesday at 10 p.m., you should not be eating at 10 p.m. at night.
There are a lot of people out there that go there because the only decent food they can afford to eat are the half price apps at Applebee's, and they're
no one is going there. That's why they're going out of business. There's not a lot of people.
And the one thing they have to
like
look
7 people.
The one thing they have to look forward to in life is getting their 2-for-1 Yinglings after 10, along with their half price apps at Applebee's. Like that's all that they have to look forward to.
I really do like the 2-for-1 drinks. That is a cool concept. You have to. They have to get you fucking hammered so you eat their food. They got to keep you on the Ferris wheel, dude. They can't let you off because then you just won't eat that shitty food. So they try to bribe you in with alcohol, dude. It's a great concept. No, dude, Applebee's is horrible.
What happened to Ruby Tuesdays?
Holy shit, I forgot about Ruby Tuesdays, dude.
See, exactly.
Didn't they have like a badass salad bar there?
They did, but like they all died. Like it all disappeared.
Are they out of business?
Well, I think you can still find their restaurants every so often here and there, but so just bigger picture, I think what's happening here is you're seeing the transition of the dominant the dominant consumers in America. What the baby boomers loved, what was like standardized national chains that all kind of served the lowest common denominator, where you could go and get kind of like a low quality steak. At the
Sizzlers.
At the same restaurant in Portland, Oregon, as you could in Wichita, Kansas, as you could in Nashville,
big,
Tennessee.
Like the 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
the thousands. That was their 30-year
They
window.
they hated the mom and pop concept, and then millennials are the exact opposite. Yeah, millennials generally
Craft
speaking,
beer places, unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millennials like food trucks, and millennials would much rather go somewhere where they feel like they're getting something authentic and unique, and they're not as interested in going somewhere where they're supporting a chain.
Oh, explain Starbucks then.
Well, that's the
exception.
Yeah.
Because they do like little coffee shops too.
Yes, they do.
Dude, I see everyone. Oh my God, especially if it's a girl under the age of 40. Fuck. Dude, every time. They're just like, look, I got my coffee from, and it'll be like the weirdest coffee names. It'll be Bird Dog. They'll be like, I got my coffee from Bird Dog. And you're just like,
what's that?
No, I made that up. That's how
That's a
that-
coffee shop?
No, dude, it could just be like Red Ball.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
I got my coffee from Red Ball.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, what is going on here, dude? The Tip Tat, like example, right? That's the coffee shop names. They do love going to there. Starbucks is like their safety net one though, because of that consistency factor.
You
Dude,
see, I feel like I think Starbucks is just. I think that's one of the most successful scams in history.
dude, it is, and you
know?
know, and I'm falling into it. You know, I go to Starbucks probably once a week now. Yeah.
Wow.
And I never went to Starbucks, dude. It's like a convenience thing because all the people I'm with drink Starbucks. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And I said no like the first, like, I don't know, 6,000 times. And then I was like, oh, fuck, dude, I am crashing. You know what? I'll take a fucking iced coffee. Just, you know, hit the espresso in there. Double pump me, baby. Boom. Dude, their coffee is shit. But let me tell you, when you need a pickup, so now when they're like, because you know how we work, right? Obviously. Always grinding. And so when they go over there, that's where they go. And I used to just make my coffee a thing. And I'd be like, yeah, pick me up one. Now I'm doing it like once a week, dude. I've been doing it for like 2 months.
Wow.
You know how much I pay for that fucking iced coffee?
Probably literally an arm and a leg.
It's almost
You know?
$5,
Yeah.
dude. And it's like 2 cups of coffee. What is a cup of coffee? 15 cents? I should pay
Yeah.
30 cents. I pay $5 almost for fucking iced coffee. That's wild.
And on top of that, the Starbucks employees they keep on trying to unionize, and Starbucks keeps on like slamming them down.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yeah, because the CEO of Starbucks is very active in the Democratic Party and everything, and supports the idea of labor unions, but he will not tolerate them in his company.
No, because he's a closet capitalist.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's for sure. Is it? He's from Seattle, right? Is that
Seattle,
where-
yeah. Yeah, Seattle.
Seattle. And he said, didn't he go to South America? And he was like, oh yeah.
a lot of those hypocrites are all from that part of the country. You know, like Bill Gates, the Amazon Jeff Bezos. I don't know where he was. He wasn't originally from Seattle, but he moved up there because he was like, yeah, there's a bunch of other douchebags up there, so I'm gonna go up there and be a douchebag too.
Dude, that whole part, I don't know, dude. I just don't get the concepts. I don't. Where did they try to do the self-governing Kaz or Chaz, or whatever the fuck they called it?
I think it started out as Chaz, but then they changed the name to CHOP.
CHOP?
Yeah,
the New Republic of CHOP.
Yeah, the I think it was I think it stood for Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone was Chaz, and then they changed the name.
Where was that? Washington?
It was in Seattle.
Oh, it was in
Yeah,
Seattle.
because Capitol Hill is a part of Seattle, and but they changed the name to CHOP, which was Capitol Hill. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Have you ever noticed the more like descriptive words they have in like anything, like the People's Democratic Republic of National whatever?
The more totalitarian it is.
Dude, they're just like whacking babies and enslaving people every time. Literally, the more descriptive words they get.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. Yeah, dude.
Well, and you know the really sad thing is you know in that Chaz Chop area, there were regular fire bombings that happened. There were a lot of people injured. There were people that were shot and murdered there and everything. And the Seattle police still have yet to really go after the criminals that carried out those crimes.
Oh, they don't give a shit, dude.
You know?
Dude, instantly they like had to start enforcing a government. Like they were like, "We're free," we do it. And then they had to form a government because that shit doesn't work, and they became totalitarian. Like literally, it self-imposed on itself.
Well, in fact, there was a settlement that recently happened, like a month or 2 months ago, where the Seattle government had to pay out damages to small business owners whose businesses were in that little Chaz Chop area. And I think the settlement was secret.
Wasn't that like 10 years ago?
What? No. That happened in 2020.
No.
Yeah, that happened in 2020 because that was during the mayor of Seattle came out and said that was going to be the summer of love.
That was only in 2020?
Yeah. And at that same time, they were firebombing like the federal courthouse in Portland, Oregon. There were fire bombings that were happening up there too.
Is that the year Australia caught on fire?
You know,
In January?
it was somewhere around there.
Dude, that was a crazy year. That shit kicked off, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Wow, fuck. All right, well,
Yeah,
that's wild.
well, we're living in a wild time right now.
Dude, every year is just like a new fucking like we're one upping the year before. It's wild, man. Well, crazy stuff.
Well, so kind of circling back to
Went
kind of like
circle of that.
Yes, like circling back to inflation and everything. And I guess kind of like focusing in on money, right? Like right now, what are some things that are happening in the market? One, and then after that, let's kind of talk about like what opportunities we're seeing to kind of take advantage of opportunities that are out there, and to kind of protect yourself, financially.
Absolutely.
So what's happening in the market right now?
Well, I mean, obviously we see crypto having a nice resurgence right now, but
All-time highs, right?
all-time highs. But it seems like a lot of the experts are saying now's the time to pull out of it because they think there's going to be a rug pull, basically, because a large part of a lot of these coins that people invest in, a lot of these like niche coins, very small coins.
They're all powered by Ethereum, right? The small ones.
So the blockchain is Ethereum, but a large portion of them is owned by very few people. So,
like Elon Musk and Doge, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know how much Elon Musk has in Doge, but I'm saying there's like whales out there that if they were to sell off, a lot of people would be stuck holding a bag, and it's so quick that it would boom, 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 and these people would, theoretically just be left holding a huge bag. It's up right now, though. I mean, just ride it while you can. I did invest in crypto when it was going down, and I had it in sell orders, so because I didn't want to risk it. I did miss out on a huge swing, but I still made 20%, and I did that in about a week.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're confident enough in crypto, it is an interesting time. I think it's high right now, but if people are long-term holders and they're not trying to make quick profit anyways, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I would advise caution on crypto right now. Not that I'm not a believer in it. I invest in it all the time. You remember I did SHIB, and not for any practicality, just because I knew it was going to have a driving factor. I think I held SHIB for 7 months. What was that, 3-4 years ago? Maybe not that long ago. Maybe 2.5 years ago. I made a killing on SHIB, man. Yeah. I made so much money. And not because I thought it was ever going to be used in a, like an actual application out in the real world. But I would advise caution on crypto. I don't know where you feel on that. Real estate's another one right now. If you invest in like REITs or like any kind of stocks that are like backed by that, or if you invest in like a lot of these guys come out where you can invest in properties through like buying shares of it. Like, I don't know what it's called. I'm blanking on everything right now. I just think commercial real estate's going to get hammered soon.
Oh, it's going to get pounded.
Absolutely destroyed. But if you're investing in like, you're personally investing in real estate, I still think it's a time to maybe just wait. Yeah, I think holding cash right now is not a bad idea.
Well, specifically the real estate market, and then I want to get back to talking about gold and crypto. But specifically in the real estate market, when you're looking at commercial real estate, I think most people agree, even people that don't know much about it, and also people that know a lot about it, would all say that the commercial real estate is getting hammered, and it's going to continue to get hammered. That's a bad scene right now. That's a bad place to be. Now, when you're talking about regular like residential real estate, single family homes and multifamily, which there's a world of difference between even those two categories. Oh yeah. The problem you're running into now, it's interest rates, right? So interest rates have priced out your people that would have to take out a mortgage to buy a home. Baby, because The price of a single family home, they're at record highs across the entire country.
Well, people can't afford them.
Right.
Simply, it's not possible.
So there have been a lot of studies that have come out. I think the average price of a home in America, it's like in the low 300s. It is the average price of a home in the United States. And that, you know,
I think it's close to 350 last time I checked. Actually,
but it's the low 300s because when you factor in when you average New York, Texas, California, and you also average in flyover country, it all kind of averages out to like the low 300s. Now, when you look at somebody who'd be looking to put like a minimum down payment down, which would be your average home buyer,
be 20%, right?
well, less than that. Like your average home buyer might only be able to afford to put like 2.5 or 5% down. You know, that makes up a lot of people who end up buying homes. You know, the people that are buying a home they're buying it to live in. You know, a lot of first-time home buyers, they can only afford to put down 2.5 or 5%.
Who the fuck is putting down 2.5%?
A lot of people who, the people that would be taking advantage of FHA loans, which used to be the largest number of mortgages issued in the United States used to be FHA loans, but people borrowing or people taking out mortgages to buy homes, it's really steeply dropped off ever since interest rates have increased so much, and so it's something like your average home buyer, if they're going to be taking out a loan, they're going to be taking out a mortgage to buy a home, they need to have a gross income of something around like $90,000 a year. That doesn't represent anywhere near, you know, that's a tiny minority of American income earners. So that prices a lot of people out. So now what you're left with are people that would be able to afford to pay cash for homes that are going to be really driving home sales. Maybe people they'll be able to put like 70 or 80% down and then maybe finance the rest of it. But those people are largely cash buyers. There's one thing that's true about cash buyers, and this is with anybody who's looking to pay cash for anything. They generally have an advantage, and whenever they're offering cash for something, they make lowball offers. You know, so that's naturally going to be a downward pressure on home prices. Now, when you start looking at multifamily homes like duplexes, triplexes, apartment buildings, and everything, a lot of those places, especially places that were built by investors and everything, those places were financed, and a lot of those loans are short-term loans that are bought on balloon loans on like balloon notes that have to be refinanced like every 3 to 5 years.
That's gross.
Yeah, and what ends up happening is a lot of those notes were issued like at lower interest rates, and a lot of those notes are coming due now, so they're having to be refinanced at today's higher interest rates, which for a single family home, you're looking at like an average interest rate of like for an average like 30-year mortgage like 7% right now ish. But for multifamily,
which is really high.
Yeah, but for multifamily homes, you're looking at interest rates that might be 10, 12, 15%.
Jesus.
You know, so what's happening is what you're going to end up seeing over time are multifamily home prices, along with commercial real estate, which play at that level of interest rates, 10, 12, 15%, maybe even 20%. You're going to end up seeing a lot of those projects. A lot of those multifamily homes, a lot of those multifamily projects, commercial projects, they're financially unsustainable. You know, yes, rents have gone up and everything, but when you get readjusted from like 5.5% to like 14%, that's going to eat up all of the margin that makes that investment worthwhile at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then what's going to happen is cash buyers are going to roll in and start making lowball offers, and the original holders of those assets are going to have to file for bankruptcy. And then the cash buyers are going to roll in and drive the prices down on those things.
Well,
You know, now what we're saying are not things you're going to commonly hear from realtors, because according to realtors, prices are always going to be going up.
Oh yeah, there's always going up, baby.
And that's the thing. If you go and ask a realtor when's the right time to buy a home, they'll tell you right now is. Mm-hmm. It's just like if you show up at a car dealership and you ask a car salesman, hey, what's the right time to buy a car?
Right now.
They'll
baby.
say right now, baby.
Let's do it.
And I've got one heck of a deal, special deal just for you.
That's another industry getting absolutely fucking hammered.
It's because of the interest rates.
The car industry, man. They are laying people off. They can't move steel for shit off those lots.
And that's the problem. People have been trained now to expect super low interest rates, mm-hmm. and to behave accordingly. To view debt as being a very good thing, and to view debt as just being an essential part of life. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, we're entering into tough times, and people are going to have to learn how to exist without debt.
Whoever thought like fucking Dave Ramsey was going to be like the guy for like I don't follow Dave. I guess I shouldn't say I don't follow Dave Ramsey's practices. I don't particularly agree with Dave Ramsey on a lot of stuff. Yeah. But man, if you're just want to get like a basics on getting your shit together, like foundation level,
yeah,
like you can't really disagree with a lot of shit he says.
Like day-to-day living, like how to make a budget.
Yeah, make a budget, stick to it, emergency fund.
He'll say don't go out to eat and all that kind of stuff.
Shop up your fucking credit cards, don't use them, like stuff like that. Because a lot of people, like you said, we've been trained for like our behavior to these low mm-hmm. interest rates. Well, there needs to be a little discipline applied when the market's a little tougher. And I don't think that the majority of people are used to that. So it's going to, unfortunately, be a lesson they have to learn the hard way. So that's like a guy that I think has a good foundational advice to where it could help them through these next couple years.
Now, the big thing I disagree with Dave Ramsey on, I agree with him on a lot of things, but the two things I disagree with him on are, I'm not a very big fan of mutual funds, and I know that he is, which for a lot of people, that's probably a really, really good option as far as investing goes. But the big thing I don't agree with Dave Ramsey on is he says you can never file for bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't disagree more. I think if you're somebody, you can't see any light at the end of the tunnel because you're in so much debt, and you foolishly taken out a bunch of loans to buy a bunch of crap that you don't need and everything, that was stupid. That was it's foolish for you to do. But at the same time, it's time for you to have the year of your jubilee. Mm-hmm. And what I would say is,
just be a phoenix.
Yeah, well, and what I would say is file for bankruptcy.
Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. Tell those creditors where you can tell those creditors where they can shove their high interest rates.
Yeah, there.
Because you know what? According to Dante's Inferno, mm-hmm. I think it's the seventh ring of hell is reserved for the usurers.
Yes.
So
I disagree with Dave Ramsey on that as well. By the way,
because but just practically speaking, telling somebody to line up their credit cards, like if you have three credit cards that you've got big that you owe big money on. Mm-hmm. What Dave Ramsey says to I think he calls it the snowball strategy or something, where what you do is you concentrate all of your efforts on paying off the
highest interest
rate one,
no matter what the principle of it is. So
if you just throw money at it.
If it's $100, $1,000, the highest interest rate runs first. I get it.
You see, what my strategy would be is you line up all those credit cards, and you just throw them away, and you go and contact a bankruptcy lawyer and you file for bankruptcy.
Yeah, because if you close your eyes, is it even really there? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You could just be like, eh.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, life is short.
Yes.
And what the thing is, like, yes, you made a dumb decision by taking out a bunch of debt that you couldn't afford to pay off, and they disclosed to you what the interest rates were going to be. Like, you knew that you were going to be on the line for like 28% interest or something like that.
Yeah, I got to be real honest.
But this is the thing, when those credit card companies looked at you and said, okay, they're bringing in $3,000 a month, their rent is $1,500 a month, and all this other stuff, they shouldn't have done that.
No, they knew.
That was foolish on their part, and because they didn't do their due diligence.
It wasn't foolish. They wanted that.
Right. So and the thing is, there's this whole cultural taboo surrounding bankruptcy and everything. I don't think there should be.
Mm-mm.
No,
I'm with you.
Especially when you're dealing with banking institutions and when you're dealing with credit card companies. I don't think there should be any taboo surrounding bankruptcy. Now, if you owe like a small business or if you owe like if you owe a flesh and blood person, I think the conversation's different. But when you owe a large institution that's just trying to get as many people onto the credit plantation as possible, I say screw them.
The credit plantation.
Yeah.
Nice word.
Yep.
No, I agree with you 100%. Dude, I got to be honest. I don't get especially with our generation, I love credit cards.
Oh, me too.
I absolutely love credit cards. I use credit cards for fucking everything. Every single thing. I can't tell you, the last time I paid cash for something. Very, very rare. Credit card, everything. And then I just pay it off before they charge me shit, and I use the shit out of their points, cash back, all this stuff. Credit cards are great, man. It's just such a game, and I don't understand why, people let themselves get played. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because they're taught that that's the way that it is, and that this is just the role that you have to play. There is no other option, but there are options.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, it's just really hard to feel bad for I can be empathetic with it, but you eat shitty food, you get fat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You spend money you don't have, you go in debt. It's very simple concepts, and I'm not being unsympathetic. I know a lot of people are like, "Well, I didn't have a choice." Yeah, didn't you though? Didn't you have a choice on a lot of stuff?
But the thing is, at the same time, if you have people that genuinely were misled, which a lot of people in our society have been misled on a lot of things, I do think that there is room to be charitable toward them and tell them, look, you're in a bad situation. And there really would be no victim here of you backing out.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Bankruptcy.
I'm with you on that. And especially I do agree with millennials and Gen Zs coming up with the housing market. Everyone's I just work harder. I don't know what back in my day, we bought the fucking house for $80,000. It was you fucking kidding me, dude? People can't even afford rent right now.
Yeah.
Rent, you look at the demographics, you look at wages, you look at all this stuff. I get it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that on the aspect of personal accountability, if I hear the word fair one more time to people, it's not fair. This is what's going on.
Do you mean, what kind of fair do you mean? Do you mean like just, or do you mean like a carnival?
Dude, it's both. So it's both, all right? So it's a fucking circus, right? It's a carnival that's going on. But the word fair, they're well, I should be able to have those things because I've worked really, really hard. Yeah, but that's not the economy shit. It's just the world we grew up in. Do you think the people that grew up during the Great Depression were oh, man, this isn't fair? It's just what it is. And then there's some people that grow up during great times. We cycle faster and faster and faster on the pendulum now in the last, I would say, 40, 50 years than they would have 100 years ago. But during the War of Southern Independence, people were, the fucking country was crazy, right? Market prices were crashing. You had banks that would just fold, and then you were just stuck with money that wasn't worth shit from this bank down there. And they're man, that's not fair. It's not. But it's the society we're in. So you owe an obligation to yourself and to your family to learn and play to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? So it's
you got to play the cards that you were dealt, not the hand that you wish you had.
If you're man, I really need I need some new, the newest tennis shoes coming out. Well, I'm not saying don't get them. But is it truly in your budget? Because if you're
get them when you can afford them.
Yes, sometimes we don't. It sucks. We've all been there, dude. I've been there when I've had $13 in my bank account. You know what I mean? I don't want to fucking hear it. I've been there. I do get it. It is tough. But it's not changing, no matter how unfair it is. So we got to learn to play the game with the shitty hand we were dealt.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree that you should, if you fucked up and you did a bet, fold. Just fold. Fold.
Yep.
Say you want to buy back in.
And you know what? There's always some bankruptcy lawyer out there that you can hire that'll take good care of you.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, I agree with you.
You know. But so back to so right now gold along with the cryptos, they've all tested, and I think they've all blown through their previous highs.
Correct.
And again, this is not investment advice. But one thing that you always want to keep in mind is, a fundamental rule of Warren Buffett's, which is you buy when everybody else is selling and sell when everybody else is buying. So, you want to be very, very careful right now. Right now is not, in my opinion, right now is not the time to be pouring into gold or pouring into Bitcoin for the long haul. This is the time to pour into those things for an extreme short-term gain.
Quick flips.
Yes.
And that's what I was trying to say earlier. I'm with you. This is not like whether you believe in the stability of Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that, right? For longevity, you're like, well, I don't care because this is my play. Don't invest large sums of money in it now. Wait for it to stabilize to a comfortable price point and then play that long play. You're going to get so much more of that asset class. Like right now it's at an extreme high. So like you said, I'm not dumping my nest egg in those things right now, whether I believe in them or not. Like gold, obviously I love gold. It's a safeguard against inflation. I can, but I'm not buying gold right now.
No,
absolutely not.
Now's a good time to sell it, though.
Yes. Now, when a couple of these other things do correct themselves for the next 2 years, a lot of these other industries, I'd be very interested in investing in. I know, I don't think you're big into it, but I would like to see the deals in the stock market in about the next 18 months. I think that's going to be very interesting buying opportunity.
Yeah. Well. So you're familiar with the wealth effect?
Wealth effect?
Yeah, it's called the wealth effect. Economists and psychologists are the ones that coined the term a while ago. For the people that don't know, the wealth effect is where so this is not something you can quantify. This is all based upon your perception and feelings. Where when you see things that you own or that you're invested in rising in value, that's all on paper. That's not real wealth, right? The only time that it becomes real wealth is whenever you cash it out and you sell it. But when people see that their investments are doing well and that their assets, that the things they own are rising in value, or they perceive that it's rising in value, they will behave very differently than when they believe things are going down in value. When things are going up in value, they're more likely to hold on to them. If they think the world is falling apart, and if they think that everything is going to be going down in value, if they think recession is here, if they think there's some kind of a financial crisis, they'll sell their assets for just whatever they can, for whatever cash they can get for them. And what happens is, there's the positive wealth effect where the more likely things are to go up, and the more that people perceive the value of things are increasing, the more likely they are to hold on to what they have.
Correct.
And to buy more.
That's why take your bag, son. Take your bag.
Yeah, but the opposite is also true, where if they believe that things are decreasing in value, or that they're going to be decreasing in value over the short run, and also too in the long run, they're more likely to dump whatever they have. And they're going to sell it. And what happens is them selling along with other people thinking the same way that they do selling, it causes a cascading effect where you end up having this mass selling that it can turn into a hysteria. And that alone will cause values of things, stocks, gold, real estate, and everything to all go down at the same time. And I think what we're seeing now is I think we're in a period where we're kind of in the midway point between like the positive wealth effect, where people perceive that the things they own are continuing to go up in value. I think we're approaching the midway point, and after that midway point, people are going to begin perceiving and thinking, "Ooh, cash is a safe place for me to be." The future is uncertain as far as the value of these things go. People will start to say, "Ooh, we're in the middle of a big bubble. I'm much better off selling this extra real estate I have that I don't live in. I'm much safer selling these stocks over here that I don't need. I'm much safer selling this index fund. I'm much safer selling these things off because at least the cash I can hold, and I feel safer that way." And I think that's what we're going to be moving. And so I kind of think what's happening right now is I think people are dumping stocks and they're moving into Bitcoin and gold. And I think that's an element of the wealth effect, because they're moving to Bitcoin and gold because they see those things as being safe.
Correct.
But once the hysteria and mass panic set in, and people say, "Ooh, gold's a bubble, Bitcoin's a bubble," they'll start selling those things too, and they'll just keep on going to cash. And what'll end up happening is then I think at some point people will probably start selling off real estate too, in droves.
Like, I'm in cash mode right now.
Yeah. Oh, me
so
too.
I've been in cash mode probably the last. I did take out, and like I said, I made a position into crypto because I saw what it was doing, and I was like, "Oh, I think I could probably ride this and take out a nice little chunk." And I did. I got 23% roughly, and then I cashed out. I had it set in. I had it automatic. It did it at like 2 a.m. And then that next morning, I watched it, and it kind of tapered off. But during that day, it went all the way up to like 47% I could have made. But I don't play that game. So my thing is I made 23%, and I did it in like 6 days roughly. And then over the next 2 days, it jumped up like 23 more percent, all the way up to like 47%, right? It was wild. And I was like, shit, man. I just sold a little early. But then it like dropped 20% randomly. And I'm like, yeah, it's all over the place right now. But I made a nice little bag. I mean, where else in 6 days are you going to make 25%? Right. Like, don't be afraid to take your money if you're making short-term plays right now. So I did that, and then I put it right back into cash, and I have it set aside because, like you said, when people do start panicking, I would love to pick up some of these companies dirt cheap, man. I just let them get hammered and then go pick up assets that you think are undervalued. That you think have potential, because that's just the way to play it. And the cycles are so fast now that it's so interesting to be able to move to like crypto, to stocks, and then if you are into real estate or anything like that, you can like kind of like dabble, because I usually go between stocks and crypto. Sometimes I'm in both, sometimes I'm in neither. It just depends. And then I do a lot of alternative investing in a lot of stuff.
One final thought about inflation is, if you really want to get an idea of what the real inflation rates are for things, go and look at insurance premiums.
That's disgusting, yeah.
No.
No, I'm saying, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's disgusting because you're real, yeah.
Yeah, but the reason I say that is that insurance companies are the people who have every vested interest in making sure that they could afford, if your home, God forbid, were burned down, or if there was a natural disaster, that they know exactly what the cost would be to rebuild that home.
Well, remember,
right?
They have actuaries, and you can't profit off insurance. It's the actual, what they do in most cases for those things, your vehicle, your home, like you said, they're covering the actual, the exact amount to get you back to whole. So it's a exact representative of labor cost, parts, everything,
raw materials, all that kind of stuff. Raw materials
to replace that exact thing. That's including, like I said, labor, man hours of working on it, the materials to get it back to where it was. So you're 100% correct. Insurance is a beautiful industry to see where the economy's at, and all these premiums are at all-time highs right now. That's concerning.
Well, and that's the thing. When inflation, when the government was telling us that inflation was 9%, the insurance premiums are going up by like 25 and 30%, which really more closely reflected the increase in the cost of like lumber, for instance, if you're talking about like homes. You know, the cost of energy, the cost of gasoline, the cost of kilowatt hours of electric, whatever. But they're the ones who actually get down to brass tacks and say, okay, so what is the cost going to be to repair this model of vehicle if it gets into a fender bender? What will the cost end up being? How much will we have to shell out to rebuild a home or to repair a home? You know, so generally speaking, one of the best metrics of inflation is to look at how much insurance premiums are increasing, you know, at what rate.
Absolutely. And you can even hyper focus it down to location. You know, in a certain area, how is inflation affecting that exact area? Yeah. So if you're in like Palm Beach, Florida, it's going to be very different than if you're in the, you know, middle nowhere, Montana. You can look at insurance premiums. They're all still going up because of the price, you know, like the factors that we talked about earlier, but you can see directly how much inflation is affecting certain areas. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I agree with you on that. That's an awesome point, Shane. Nice. Yeah. You sometimes, you know, you impress me.
I always impress everybody. Well, so I think this is probably about a good time to start wrapping stuff up.
Absolutely.
Do you have any final thoughts?
No, man, that's it. I just want everyone to stay safe out there and just start making some moves, even if they're small. I know, like, I think people highly, highly, highly underestimate wins. If you have $100, take it aside if you can afford to. Don't go buy some dumb shit. Take the $100 aside. Sit on it. Don't just be like, I got to get this out there. Find a play, make it, and if you can make $107 on a trade, that's $107. You made 7%. Take that win. You know what I mean? Learn from it. See what your plays. Keep disciplined in those things, no matter what they are. I don't care what you know, where you're putting your money. Just start doing things. Right now, if you want to sit on cash, save money. Save it, stock it aside until you do make a play.
And a lot of banks are offering really good interest rates that they will pay you on money market accounts and high yield savings accounts.
Yeah, go dump money in a money market account.
The thing is, you just need to go and do a little bit of research. In fact, you can even go and talk to a bank teller and ask them what's the best account that I could, like, what's the best yield on savings that I'd be able to get at this bank, you know, and if they look at you and they spit at you and they say you're not going to make anything better here, then go find another bank to deposit your money at. And
that's right. If you can save, if your plays to save money right now, go find one of those money market accounts so your money's not locked up.
It's not locked up. Yeah.
So it's not locked up. You still have quick access to it, like instant access, and go put it there so at least you can safeguard against inflation. So while you are stockpiling money, inflation's not just like eating like a moth on it. You know what I mean? So you can kind of combat that a little bit until you're ready to make a play. And maybe that's 12 months, 18 months from now. Who knows? Maybe it's tomorrow. Just I want people to get active out there in getting ready for when the shit storm finally does come, because it's definitely coming. I mean, we have postponed paying the piper for a while now. So
it's the early 2000s.
Yeah, so it's definitely coming, and I don't think it's going to be pleasant, but there's blood on the streets.
We'll make it.
Yep. Absolutely, brother. Good shit.
All right.
Hey, love you guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.